Good morning, everyone. This is what I'm about to present here is not, in fact, directly responding to the financial plan, but it is a budgetary issue. Oh, I'm sorry. My full name is Diedrich Wall. My address is 8133 Road 20 West, Stanley, Manitoba, R6POC1.
I may interrupt you if it isn't related or not.
Fair enough. I also just. Yeah, absolutely. I rehearsed it. I can get this squeezed in within 10 minutes without interruptions. But again, I respect if you need to interrupt, and I'll reply to the best of my ability. So I will begin. Good morning to Arma Stanley, Reeve, Council, staff, and community members in attendance. I am here today to ask the question, how does this council justify spending taxpayer dollars that they know are being used to create an unsafe environment for our community? Why does council continue to fund the South Central Regional Library, which continues to, in my opinion, purchase and distribute material that contain child pornography and that instruct on sexual touching for minors? Since the December 8th, 2022 presentation, legal counsel has suggested that the materials presented to the library board to fit the definition of child pornography and invitation to sexual touching for minors, and that in doing so, these materials contravene the Criminal Code of Canada, Section 152 and 163. Every council that funds this SCRL has been made aware of the content of these materials by way of examples from 3 books, although there are certainly more examples. At the same presentation, you were presented with a specific communication for action, which was the opinion of the delegate that if the South Central Regional Library continues to engage in the illegal act of making pornography and sexual explicit materials available to minors, on behalf of the delegation and concerned community members, we, the public, insist that our tax funding be withheld. Your authority to write bylaws that would parallel the Criminal Code of Canada and to prohibit such materials from being made available to minors through our public libraries or otherwise was also discussed. For you to be able to make an informed decision about the budget question I'm about to ask, I would like to take a moment to clarify some of the confusion. All Boys Are in Blue, title of one of these books that we're concerned of, a memoir manifesto, is available through our South Central Regional Library as an ebook. The South Central Regional librarians curate these ebooks. The South Central Regional Libraries chooses and pays for access to each individual book with taxpayer dollars that you allocate to them. These books are not available to anyone with an internet connection. The only way to access books with an SCRL is with an SCRL membership. So regardless of the child's age, with an SCRL library card and device, the child has access to ebooks like these that, in my opinion, contain graphic descriptions of child-on-child sexual abuse and incest that are celebrated as a gateway to sexual maturity. And because of the local media continues to use the language sex ed, please know that All Boys Are in Blue does not fall anywhere within the realm of educational material. As for the rest, we are dealing with a different category entirely, the category of sex instruction for children and sex instruction for teenagers. May I hand out a couple handbooks at this point? I just have a real brief. Are you okay with that?
You can hand it out.
Okay, for sure.
Not necessarily, if they're going to go through it, we will not.
No, fair enough. It's just very brief, and these are for you to keep as well. Oh, I brought enough. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, I will read a selection targeting our 12-year-olds, accessible with a South Central Regional Library membership. Anyone from the SCRL region who places a hold on this book can borrow it. Please turn to page 8 and read with me. This selection is from the book Let's Talk About It. Again, I have to put a disclaimer in here. It's extremely graphic, and children should not hear or view this.
I'd like to interrupt you there.
Okay.
We're not going to, you did give us a presentation
Okay.
And we have responded with an official letter back to you.
Okay, I have that letter with me, which I will also address.
So
Okay.
we're not here to go through materials, so please move on. And we'll have to.
Yeah, something new.
Pardon me?
Question on
Something new.
Yes, this is something that has not been shared previously. Information that has not been shared previously.
But we're going through the book, so we're not here to do that.
Did anyone of you pass literal?
Sorry, you didn't ask to speak, so we'll have to wait for your opportunity.
Okay, I respect that. I can go to the next part here. As those entrusted, so I have a question for you then, if you don't want to go through this portion of the book, which is a very small portion, quite honestly. I hope and pray you read it for yourself if you want to allow me to say it publicly. As those entrusted with safeguarding the safety of our community and the fiscal responsibility to allocate tax dollars appropriately, I notice you will not allow me to read from the book you are funding with taxpayer dollars. Just wondering why.
Our reason is because we're talking about the budget today.
This is a budgetary issue. Our tax dollars fund this.
And we have seen the books, we've looked at them, and we have given responsibility to that.
Okay, thank you. I'll carry on. I believe that it is critical to understand the content of the materials you are funding in order for you, the council, to make appropriate financial decisions with our tax dollars. I do not believe that a lawyer should be required to make this decision for you. I will continue. Section 232.1A of the Municipal Act states, councils are responsible for, quote, the safety, health, protection, and well-being of the people. This is your jurisdiction. The definition of obscene materials change over time, but the courts have ruled that it is defined as material that violates accepted community standards. Keeping this standard in mind, I would like to draw your attention to this stack of signatures petitions sent to you as a PDF on February 14th from community members of the South Central Regional Library. Can I maybe just ask if all of you received the petitions via email? Yes? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I will now read the petition signed by 1,796 taxpayers of this region. Again, I was part of the effort of getting these petitions signed. This was with little effort and very short time. This number exceeded what we had expected, but this number could grow dramatically based on the reception that we're getting for this particular issue.
Just to shorten it for you, we did receive it.
Okay. Okay, that's fine, but within the context, like I said, without interruption, I can squeeze this all in within my time frame. So are you okay if I read this real quick?
3 minutes, yeah.
Okay. Whereas the Criminal Code of Canada, Section 163, defines child pornography as, quote, a visual representation that shows a person who is under the age of 18 years and who is depicted as engaged in explicit sexual activity, or where the dominant characteristics in the depiction of sexual organ or the anal region of a person under the age of 18 years. Whereas Section 163 of the Criminal Code of Canada also defines child pornography as, quote, any written material whose dominant characteristics in the description of sexual activity with a person under the age of 18 years or the written deception of underage individuals engage in explicit sexual behavior. And whereas Section 152 of the Criminal Code of Canada states that, quote, every person who for sexual purpose invites, counsels, or incites a person under the age of 16 years to touch directly or indirectly with a part of the body or with an object, the body of any person, including the body of the person who so invites, counsels, or incites the body of the person under the age of 16 years, is guilty of an indictable offense, end quote. I'm going to carry on to the next section. I won't read the rest of it. You received it just because I don't want to run out of time to finish what I needed to say. We undersign, therefore, based on the Canadian law and parental guiding rights, request that juvenile books in the South Central Regional Libraries that display sexual explicit images contain sexually explicit content or instruct or sexual touching be removed from library stacks and from the online system, and that a policy be put in place to ensure that sexually explicit materials and materials that contravene the Criminal Code of Canada are not made available to children and our youth. This is our outcry to your community that these materials violate accepted community standards. This is the intentions that a large community of citizens whose tax dollars you use to fund the South Central Regional Library do, in their opinion, consider these materials to actively teach sexual touching to minors and to contain pornographic and child pornography. To keep materials such as these in the libraries is to create an unsafe community for children and to place them at undue risk. Based on this new evidence, these petitions, I, as a representative of these signatories, am asking you to withhold funding from the South Central Regional Library and that would discuss drafting new bylaws which ensure the safety of our children. Or at minimum, we are calling for a single public hearing in which all council that fund the SCRL would collectively advertise, attend, and openly discuss the issue of safety of tax dollars being used to purchase and distribute sexually explicit materials to children. The intention for this hearing would be that would gather information by opening up a discussion in order for community members to communicate, to express their opinions, to ask questions, and to clarify needs surrounding the issue of tax dollars funding the SCRL. And I'm just about done. Like, I have like 30 seconds. Can I finish? Thank you. I appreciate that. And in doing so, that you would vote on resolutions related to the $123,219 of funding currently allocated to the SCRL for the 2023-2024 fiscal year and onward. I'm submitting this collection of text, pictures, and a PDF petition for the record. Please. Are there any questions?
So I just want to make a comment. We do have board members on the SCRL committee, and so we as council have decided not to fund the library, but our board, the board, is looking at policy.
Okay.
We are leaving it up to the board to.
Okay. Okay, I have this is just very short little paragraph. This is the response that I received from our council here. It was my response because I was a delegation when I presented this. Let's read here real quick what it states, your response to me. It is our understanding that SCRL board has taken the book challenges seriously and has allowed their established policy and has informed us that they received a legal opinion that the materials being challenged are educational in nature and are legal and not pornographic. So that's basically what you've come back to me with. I just wanted to state real quick, actually in that handbook, I won't read it, I wanted to, but that's fine. If you look on page 19, right on the right-hand side, you can actually see how they instruct in these. This is from the book, Let's Talk About It, which is available in the South Central Regional Library. It actually encourages the children and the teenagers to basically look at the positives of pornographic material. It literally states it right in the book. So I would challenge all of you to take a look at that. I won't read it here, just in respect of your time. So I just had one real quick question here. Like 15 seconds. Quick question. Last question, this is for all of you. Raise your hands knowing the information that you know, if you would support your children, your grandchildren, as young as 4 years old, to either read or look at the material of these books.
I don't think we need to reply on that. Sorry, we are talking about the budget today. So.
Okay, again, this is a budgetary issue, so, okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate and respect all of you. I thank you for your time and your service to this community. Again, this is nothing personal, obviously, but this is something that we are very, very passionate about, and we pray that ultimately the right decision will be made here. So thank you so much. May God bless you all. Take care.